what's approaching. The supreme
good. Hopefully you guys are starting off the weekend on a pretty high note. I've got another showcase for you guys. This unit used to be, I think, everybody's favorite free-to-play LR unit. A little bit forgotten nowadays, but I did want to bring this back because I went through the grinds for the link levels. So again, this has been a little while since I've actually showcased this unit. I think it's been quite some time. A lot of people, I'm guessing, have chosen the somewhat much better summonable versions over this guy, but at the time it came out, it was a pretty big deal. So before I go into kind of the commentary about the general unit overview of my opinion base and also the gameplay itself of the showcase, let's go ahead and talk about the unit. Let's get back into class, have a little review session, because it's been quite some time because of it did come out on March 23rd, 2018, so it's been a solid 2.5 years at this point. But again, when it came out, it was pretty solid because of one, the leader skill super type key +3 HP attack and defense increase to 70%. The counterpart was the LR mega-colossal army with the extreme type lead, you know what I mean, with the same equivalent. Super attack raises attack and defense and causes colossal damage to enemy for the 12 key, and then for the 18 key super attack greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes mega-colossal damage to enemy. Passive skill is an attack and defense increase of 80%, raises ki by up to 10, the less HP remaining, the greater the ki boost. Now in terms of links, since we did go through the link skill level grind, let's talk about it. Super Saiyan at level 10 will be attack increase of 15%. Warrior Gods is attack increase of 10% and attack increase of 5% when performing a super attack. Prepare for Battles ki +2, attack and defense increase of 5%. Power Bestowed by God will be attack increase of 10% when performing a super attack. Fuse Fighter is ki +2, attack and defense increase of 5%. Shattering the Limit is ki +2 and attack and defense increase of 5%. And then Legendary Power is, of course, attack increase of 15% when performing a super attack. Now with this setup, you will see mostly, I think it was on the Battle of Wits category setup, slash Majin Buu Saga, but for the category listings of this unit, it will be Realm of Gods, Patara, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Final Trump Card or Last Resort, and Battle of Wits. So of course a lot of good categories this unit falls onto, and even though he's not quite to the level of maybe some of the summonable units that got the easy A and became ridiculously good, this guy's still a pretty decent option. 12 key multiplier is 150%, 24 key multiplier is 200%, and then in terms of like the stats themselves, at 100% potential, you're looking at HP of 18,613, attack is 19,490, and defense is 13,494. So solid stats overall. I think people tend to forget when this unit first came out, it was a running joke of the quote-unquote free-to-play factor of it, right? Because of the fierce battle link skill requirement to get some of the medals, and I remember a lot of people were complaining, and due to technicality, he wasn't supposed to be considered free to play, right? I think times have changed a little bit because there are a lot more free to play friendly options in terms of like the not red coins, but the basically the super red Dragonstone or whatever, where you can exchange for units for free during big celebrations. Obviously more and more some units are getting Dokkan Awakenings, and some of them come with that fierce battle, stuff like that. So of course initially like you had to bring very certain types individually with fierce battle links. I don't know how many per team it was, but that was kind of the requirements to get some of the medals, the Patara medals or whatever it was called. And I remember, a lot of people were kind of pissed about that, but it's a lot more free-to-play friendly than it was before, in my opinion, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. And I think, for any new player watching right now, you'll notice that this unit is pretty good. In terms of like the gameplay itself of this particular showcase, I had to really go with a balanced approach, right? Because of the built-in skill sets differently with the 12 key and 18 key super attack. So I kind of forced the 12 key super attack in order to make sure, Vegito Blue's raising that attack and defense or stacking it, and then in cases where you're pretty much in such a good rotation, you're forced into getting that 18 key. So I mean, either way, like it's kind of like you want to take the balanced approach in terms of how you want to build this unit up over a course of a long battle, so to speak. Either way, like the 18 keys, still pretty great because of the ability to greatly raise attack for 1 turn. However, you definitely do want to excuse me. you definitely do want to raise that attack and defense or stack it as much as possible. That way, you know, toward the end of the battle when it gets tougher, you know, he'll be in a better position. And I did kind of show off the links shared between units on the rotation, as well as like the stats for attack and defense, obviously, because this unit does stack up. Now, you initially saw the Teen Super Saiyan Gohan as kind of the linking buddy. It works out well because along with the passive support allies, you know, that unit did have Shattering the Limit. Now, you know, instead of just a ki boost, you also get that attack and defense boost of 5%, even, you know, with the with just that link. Now, what you're seeing right now, obviously, with the AGL Easy A Super Vegito, that guy provides a boost from the super attack, you know, raising allies attack by 30% or something like that. So, you know, it's certainly a good linked set to have, along with, you know, the rest of the guys on the rotation, and also getting that boost in, you know, allies attack. So it all works out pretty well. I did consider, you know, going with a different approach in terms of team building. I actually had like 4 or 5 different variations of runs that I was testing this unit out, but it seems like, in my opinion, the Battle of Wits / Majin Buu Saga actually worked quite well. Like Realm of Gods and, you know, Last Resort and stuff like that, you know, certainly an option, but I think in terms of like the link up, the Tech LR Vegito Blue necessarily isn't the greatest link buddy for this unit. I was actually a little bit surprised with that, but again, like they do share a lot of links. Don't get me wrong, and you know, it's not bad, but I guess, you know, it's kind of the approach I took was basically I wanted, you know, the LRs to be off rotation, you know, as a floater. That way, you know, you get that passive support from whoever's linked up, like Super Vegito, obviously, and then, you know, the LR coming on board. That way, you know, all the links, or majority of the links, are optimized. I think the problem I ran into with the Battle of Wits category setup is the fact that not many units had the Warrior Gods category, or Warrior Gods link skill. Now, at level 10, you're looking at attack increase of 10% and then additional 5% when performing a super attack. So it does attribute to a total of 15%, but, you know, it's more or less like building a team around how everyone meshes well. You know, you can't just force basically links to activate just for the sake of it, right? I mean, that's kind of the problem, is you have to find a good mix between good passive support built into certain units, as well as, you know, how well or how manageable their link sets are in terms of like the rotation. That's why you see units like that Strength Teen Super Saiyan Gohan. He's not necessarily the best of linking buddies, but the unit does bring a lot of advantages. One being, you know, the passive support allies, but also the ability of Gohan to be able to, you know, reduce the damage taken. You know, in terms of a longer, tougher battle, that's beneficial to have. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, my take on it. In this one, you do see the physical type Easy A Super Saiyan 2 Goku. I personally really do love that unit. You don't really get a boost from attack for, you know, any of the allies unless they're in the Super Saiyan 2 category, but he's such a decent defending unit, as well as providing defensive support to the allies. I mean, I think in some cases, you know, your best offense is your defense, or whatever the right word was for it. Yeah, it's NFL has officially started, so I'm already talking about, you know, terminology from John Madden back in the day or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's one of those state of minds, but I've also been working quite heavily, and insomnia and fatigue and whatever is probably taking a toll at this point, and I'm a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I mean, depending on how you throw in your rotations, you can cover a fair amount of links. The new Strength LR Super Vegito is actually a pretty decent linking buddy for the free-to-play LR Vegito Blue, and of course that unit's phenomenally good in terms of like countering abilities and whatnot. So overall, it's a fun unit, and I think the free-to-play Strength LR Vegito Blue is still a pretty good unit. I think it's worth checking out, especially if you're a new player that hasn't grinded yet. So, you know, with that being said, it's been a while since I showcased the unit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely been kind of interesting and fun for me to test it out personally, so hopefully it was likewise for you guys. I guess, I don't know, let me know in the comments what else I should be grinding for and showcasing in the future. I got an idea of what I want, but it's always good to have feedback, so certainly let me know in the comments what you would like to see in the future, and maybe we can go from there. Alright, with that being said, I'll go ahead and catch a break, so I'll catch you guys later.